Have you ever been on a project that just felt like a death march? You know that feeling? You're running in circles, everyone's burning out, and you're not shipping work that actually matters? Well, today, we're going to dive into a pretty radical solution from the team at Basecamp called Shape Up. It's their answer to some of the biggest frustrations in product development, and honestly, it might just change how you think about building things. And right off the bat, they just throw out pretty much every buzzword you've ever heard. I mean, look at this. No backlogs, no sprints, no velocity tracking. This isn't just some small tweak to your current process, it's a completely different way of thinking about how to build software. It's designed to be a fundamental fix, not just another patch.
And this is the core question that Shape Up is trying to answer. It's that feeling of dread, right? When a project that was supposed to take a few weeks is now somehow in its 6th month and there's just no end in sight. It's demoralizing, it's inefficient, and let's be real, it's incredibly common.
Just take a look at this list for a second. Does any of this hit a little too close to home? As teams get bigger, these pains become really sharp. Projects turn into these endless grinds that burn people out and just destroy the trust that you need to do great work. This is the exact problem that Shape Up was created to solve.
So, what's the solution? Well, it all starts with their first core principle, shaping the work. This is the super important pre-work that happens before a project ever even gets to a team, and it's all about defining the work at just the right level.
And this slide, wow, it just nails the core problem, right? On one hand, you've got the super abstract idea, just words. It's way too vague, the scope can totally explode, and your team is basically left trying to read minds. But on the other hand, you've got these overly concrete wireframes, which just kills all creativity and can hide some really deep, gnarly technical problems. The key is finding that sweet spot right in the middle.
And shaping is all about finding that perfect middle ground. A small, senior team figures out the key elements. And like it says here, the output is rough, solved, and bounded. It's rough, so it leaves room for creativity. It's solved, which means the really big questions have been answered. And it's bounded. And trust me, that idea of being bounded is absolutely critical.
And here is where things get really wild. Forget estimates. Shape Up completely flips the question. Just look at the quote. It's not how much time will it take, it's how much is this idea worth to us. You decide how much time you want to spend, and then you design a solution that actually fits inside that box.
They call this time budget an appetite. A typical appetite is about 6 weeks. Now, this is not an estimate. It's a hard constraint, and that constraint is what fuels creativity. It forces the shapers to make smart trade-offs and answer the real question. What is the absolute best solution we can build in 6 weeks? This is the heart of it all. Fixed time, variable scope.
This slide shows it perfectly. Look at the raw idea column. A customer says, add a calendar. You know that could easily turn into a 6-month nightmare project. But now look at the shaped solution. With a 6-week appetite, the problem gets laser-focused to just seeing free spaces, and the solution becomes the simple, elegant dot grid. It solves the core problem, but within that fixed time budget. It's brilliant. Okay, so you've got these beautifully shaped projects. Now what? How do you decide what to actually build? Well, that brings us to our second section, bedding and building, which is where the right projects get picked and teams are finally set loose to just execute.
Everything, and I mean everything, revolves around these 6-week cycles. It's kind of the magic number, long enough to build something really significant, but short enough that the deadline feels real from day one. And that creates this incredible sense of urgency and focus.
All right, now this next idea might be a little hard to swallow for some of you. There is no backlog. Pitchers are either chosen for the next cycle or they're just gone. They call a backlog a graveyard of half-baked ideas. And the thinking behind it is simple, like it says here. If an idea is truly important, it'll come back.
So instead of grooming a backlog forever, leaders meet at what they call the betting table. They look at just a handful of these well-shaped pitches, and they place their bets on what the company should build next. And once a bet is placed, a team gets that project and 6 weeks of completely uninterrupted time to build it. No distractions.
And this right here is the key to making it all work. Teams are given whole projects, not just a list of tasks. They have the freedom, the autonomy to figure out how to build it. And this totally transforms them from being just ticket takers into being true owners of the solution. That level of trust and responsibility, it's a massive boost for morale and creativity.
But wait, what happens if a project is about to go over the 6 weeks? I mean, that happens, right? Well, that brings us to the final and maybe the most powerful piece of this whole puzzle, the circuit breaker, which guarantees that things ship on time.
Now, this rule is strict, but it's the linchpin of the entire system. Like the quote says, a project that doesn't finish does not get an extension. It's canceled. But here's the crucial part. This isn't seen as the team's failure. It's seen as a failure in the shaping process. The bet was just wrong, and it's time to learn from it and move on.
This is the circuit breaker. It's basically a built-in safety mechanism that prevents one runaway project from derailing everything. It forces those hard conversations and smart scope cutting during the cycle, and it guarantees that every 6 weeks you get a truly clean slate. So what's the big payoff for all this? You can see it right here. You actually ship meaningful work. You get rid of those runaway zombie projects. Teams get autonomy, which is huge for morale, and leadership gets real, actual control over the product direction. It all comes back to that incredibly powerful idea of a clean slate every 6 weeks.
So, I'll just leave you with this question right here. Forget the endless grind and that ever-growing backlog for just a minute. What could your team truly accomplish if you had a fresh start and a real chance to ship something that matters every single 6 weeks?